Dear faculty, students, former alumni, and fans of Alabama, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Not until next season's opening game against Florida State. All this time you were bleeding on how Alabama should have been in the college football playoff with a 9-3 record and no conference championship game appearance to show for it. Guess what? 8 other colleges had 9-3 records. I'm an Ole Miss fan, and I wasn't whining and moaning on social media about getting left out, because I knew that Ole Miss beating Georgia wasn't going to let the selection committee forget the fact that the Rebels blew a lead against LSU, got outfoxed by Florida, and lost at home to a mediocre Kentucky team when the Rebs were ranked 6th in that game. The loss to Florida was the death blow. You guys can make your case of strength of schedule all you want. That won't cover up the fact that Alabama lost to teams they shouldn't have lost to in the first place. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. All 3 of those losses, Bama was in the top 10. The loss to Vanderbilt, Bama was the top-ranked team in the country, and they conceded 40 points to a team that was on a 2-game losing streak. Tennessee, the Vols were on a roll, winning 5 of their first 6 games going into the 3rd Saturday in October. They were still in playoff discussions along with 7th-ranked Alabama. The loss to Oklahoma, the Tide were still 7th ranked and got held to a field goal while Xavier Robinson ran all over the Tide's defense. Losing to teams like Oklahoma and Vanderbilt is a surefire way of not making the playoffs. I had to hear you screech that Bama could have beaten Penn State if it was them and not SMU. You mean the same Penn State that beat everyone they were supposed to beat that year with the exception of Ohio State and Oregon? Alabama couldn't even beat Michigan, a team that was ranked 29th and finished with a 7-5 record going into the Reliant Quest Bowl. I mean, the Tide made it a game before halftime, but the Wolverines scored a 4th quarter field goal and made a huge 4th quarter stop to seal the deal. With that loss, all the talk about how Alabama could have won if they made the playoffs goes out the window. Because if they were the 11th ranked team and couldn't beat Michigan, what chance were they going to have against a Penn State team that did make their conference championship game? Sit down, guzzle your yellow hammer, and
Shuts up!